Students, so once again we are going to continue with our very important chapter, that is of journal entries. So in the previous class we have discussed nearby 34 transactions, okay, and all these transactions will help you lot, okay, just to understand the concept and all. So again we are going to continue with that. So here we have some new and exciting journal entries. So here we have started with transaction number 34. In this we have insurance premium paid in advance rupees 5000. So as you know, insurance premium, that is a kind of expense, okay, and if we pay anything in advance, that is a kind of assets for us, okay. So according to the rules of debit and credit, okay, so we can do like that. So insurance expenses and expenses we have to debit, okay, according to the rules, modern rules or the traditional rules or the golden rules. We know every time we have to debit all the expenses. So here we have to debit our insurance premium by rupees 5000, and prepaid insurance, that is a kind of income, and always we have to credit it, okay. So here we have credited our prepaid insurance worth rupees 5000. As a narration, simply we can write being insurance paid in advance. So then after we have next, that is commission received in advance. Once when you will receive commission in advance, so you will receive in the term of money. So if we are getting any kind of money, so definitely it will increase our cash or the bank. If we are receiving through check, then it will increase our bank. If we are receiving in cash, then it will increase just only the cash amount. So cash account will debit, and for that we have to credit our commission. But we don't have to write only the commission, we have to write commission received in advance, because whatever income we received in advance, that is considered as liabilities, and when liabilities increases we have to credit it, okay. So according to that concept, in this transaction we have to debit our cash account and we have to credit our commission received in advance account, okay. And the next transaction number 36, and that is very important transaction. And here we have being goods given to employees as a salary at cost 10,000 and their selling price was 13,000. So first we have to understand what exactly they want to say in this transaction, as we have given that amount as a salary, we have given that the goods as a salary rupees 10,000, cost price was 10,000, and the salary which we have paid, that is also 10,000. So this salary is a kind of expense, and we have to debit all the expenses according to that term. We have to debit our salary worth rupees 10,000. But the goods which we have given as a salary, we can sold out that in the business by rupees 13,000. So that's why selling price, that is of 13,000. So sales account will credited by 13,000. So in this transaction you can determine, you can check the goods worth rupees 13,000 of the selling price we have used to provide salary worth rupees 10,000. So there is a loss of rupees 3,000, and all the losses and expenses we use to debit. So for that 3,000, for that loss 3,000, we have to debit our profit and loss account. We can't use only the loss word, because this amount we use to transfer in profit and loss account. That's why we have written here profit and loss account. After this transaction, after this entry, we have next one, and we have to focus lot of attention for this. Here we have sold goods of rupees 10,000 in cash at 10% trade discount. As you know, as we have already discussed about the different type of the discount. Basically in the business we have two different type of the discount. First is trade discount and second one is cash discount. Okay, and trade discount that we allow in all the transaction, either in cash or the credit, but we provide cash discount only at the time of cash, receiving of cash. In the credit transactions we can't allow any kind of cash discount, and in the business organization we do not make or mention the amount of trade discount. So that's why out of the total transaction we have to subtract the amount of trade discount. As we have did in this transaction, you can see sold goods of rupees 10,000 in cash at 10% trade discount. As we know, we do not record the amount of trade discount, so the total transaction, that is here 10,000, first we have to subtract the amount of trade discount. So here in this question, 10% of 10,000 will be 1,000, and 1,000, that is the amount of trade discount. So total amount minus the amount of trade discount is equal to total sale. So total sale in this question, in this numerical, that is of rupees 9,000. So out of, whenever you will make entry, we will consider only 9,000 for the purchase or for the sale. So in this transaction we have sold goods in cash at 10% trade discount. So we are receiving cash, but we will receive cash after the deduction of trade discount, that is of 9,000, and we have to credit our sales account by the 9,000. Okay, so cash account debit to sales account worth rupees 9,000. But in the narration we have to mention each and everything, we have to give complete information, like being goods sold in cash rupees 10,000 at 10% trade discount, because the narration is only the thing which tell us about the transaction. Okay, so let's discuss next transaction. In this transaction, transaction number 38, sold goods of rupees 10,000 in cash at 10% trade discount and 5% cash discount. As we have discussed, we do not disclose trade discount while making any journal entries. So out of 10,000, the 10% of the same we have to subtract. So 9,000, that is the net sale after the deduction of trade discount. So we have to provide in this question 5% cash discount just because of the cash transaction, and that 5% we will calculate on the 9,000 rupees, because 9,000, that is the actual amount of transaction, actual sale, and we calculate trade discount, cash discount only on the cash amount, that is of 9,000. So 5% of 9,000 will be 450. So out of 9,000 sellings, when you will provide discount worth rupees 450, it means you will realized just only 8,550 as a cash. So in this question, in this transactions, we are getting cash worth rupees 8,550. So that's why we will debit our cash by 8550. Then discount, we can write here discount allowed, not only the discount, we can write discount allowed account. So discount allowed account will be debited by 450 and sales account will be credited by 9,000. Out of the total sale, we have to subtract just only that trade discount amount. Okay. The next, in the next question, sold goods of 10,000 to Max at 10% trade discount. As we know, we have to allow trade discount in all the transaction, either cash or the credit. So in this transaction, sold goods of rupees 10,000 to Max at 10% trade discount, we can easily consider it's a kind of credit transactions. Then even we have to provide trade discount. So again same, 10,000 the total amount of sale, we have to subtract 10% of the trade discount. 10,000 minus 10% is equal to 9,000. So we have to make the entry with the help of 9,000 only. So just because of the credit transaction, we have to debit Mr. Max account debit to sales account, and amount will be 9,000. Being goods sold in cash rupees 10,000 at 10% trade discount, that we have to clearly mention. Next here, transaction number 40, goods sold of rupees 10,000 to Max. Okay, so up to this we can't consider it's a cash transaction or credit, because if we are looking up to that goods sold of rupees 10,000 to Max, it will be considered as credit transaction. But later on they have given at 10% trade discount and 5% cash discount, and goods sold in cash. So in the question we have to find out whatever transactions we are going to discuss, that is of cash or the credit. So in this transaction that is in cash, so that's why we will allow cash discount. So first, total amount 10,000, we have to subtract the trade discount amount 10%. Total amount will be write off by 9,000 as a sale, and out of that 5% cash discount and 5% cash discount we will calculate on sales. So it will be 450. 9,000 minus 450 will be 8,550. That is of the amount of cash we will receive in the business organization. So accordingly we have to pass the entry that we have already seen once. Next, and the very important transaction, that is sold goods of rupees 10,000 to Max at 10% trade discount and 5% cash discount. In this question they have mentioned 10% trade discount and 5% cash discount, but if we are going through the transaction, then easily we can consider it's a kind of credit transaction. And we know in case of credit transactions we do not provide cash discount. So simply we will provide just only the trade discount in this question, 10,000, and the trade discount is 10%, minus 10% of 10,000 is equal to 1,000. So we have to pass entry by 9,000, that is Max account debit to sales account. Okay. The next, again very important question, that is here, sold goods of rupees 20,000 to Max at 10% trade discount and 5% cash discount. And the very important thing, half of the total amount received in cash. Half of the total amount. So first we have to calculate total amount. So as the below of your journal entry you can see, first we have to find out the amount of transaction, total 20,000, and we have to subtract their trade discount, which is 10% of that, 2,000. So total transactions will be considered by 18,000. Okay. So here we have received 50% amount. So out of 18,000, 50% of cash transaction and 50% of credit transaction. So here we can calculate the amount of cash transaction, which is 9,000, and the amount of credit transaction, that is also 9,000. And we will provide that cash discount, 5% cash discount only on the cash transaction, and which is 9,000. So the 5% of 9,000 will be 450, which we have to subtract out of cash transaction. 9,000 minus 450, then rest of the amount will be remain with us, 8,550. So in this transaction, it's called compound transaction, where more than one or two transactions are going to debited or credited. First we have sold goods to Mr. Max at 9,000 credit, so that's why Max account will be debited by 9,000 rupees. And in this transaction we have realized cash rupees 8,550. So for that we have to debit our cash account. Cash account will be debited by 8,550, and we have allowed discount 450. So that's why cash account will be debited by 450 and sales account will credited by 18,000. Okay. You must have to pay attention for this question. That is very important question, and that is a question which is quite complicated. Okay. So you need a lot of practice for that. So once again I am going to explain you this question very fastly. Sold goods of rupees 20,000 to Max at 10% trade discount and 5% cash discount. Half of the total amount received in advance. So first of all we have to find out the amount of net transaction. Out of the total transaction we have to subtract the amount of trade discount, which is 2,000. So total amount of the transaction will be 18,000. Out of the 18,000, 50% we have received in cash. So we can consider 50% is of cash transaction and 50% of the credit transaction. So once when we make credit transaction, in that case we use to debit the party. So the name of party is Mr. Max, so that's why we have to debit Max account. And rest of 50% which was cash transaction, out of that we have to provide 5% cash discount, which is 450. So actual amount which you will realize, that is 8,550, and we have to debit our cash by the realized amount, which is 8,550. And discount allowed, that is a kind of expense, and you know we have to debit all the expenses. So it was your transaction number 42. Next, transaction number 43. Here interest on drawings charged rupees 500. Interest charge on drawing. Okay, so that is a charge, that is a kind of income for us. So interest on drawing, that is a kind of income for us, but actually we do not realize the amount of drawing. It increase the amount of drawing, and drawing, that is a kind of expense. So that's why in this question we have to debit drawings account and we have to credit interest on drawing, because interest on drawing is a kind of income. Okay, as we have discussed, we have to debit all the expenses. That's why we have debited our drawings account and we have to credit our interest on drawings account. In the transaction number 44, we have interest on capital rupees 500. Interest on capital, that is a kind of expense for the business organization. And you know, in the business we have to debit all the expenses. So accordingly interest on capital we have to debit, but actually that is a non-cash expense. It does not affect our cash, so that's why it will increase our capital. Okay, interest on capital, that is a kind of expense for the business. That's why we have to debit interest on capital, and at the second hand it increase our capital amount, so that's why we have to credit our capitals. Next we have transaction number 45. In this, 46. Interest charged by bank rupees 200. So once when bank will make any kind of charge, because once when we open bank account, so bank used to make some charges towards their facilities. So it may be the account maintenance charges, ATM maintenance charges and all, okay, or check collection charges and all. So for that we have to debit interest charge, that is a kind of expense. So interest charged account debit to bank account, because it will be deducted from bank only. So that's why we have to credit our bank. As we debit all the expenses, that's why we have debited interest on interest charge account, and that will be deducted by bank account. So that's why we have credited our bank account. In the transaction number 47, you can see here interest paid by the bank. If we have deposited cash into the bank, definitely bank will allow some interest on it. So here when bank will provide interest, it will increase the bank amount. Bank amount is going to increase, it means assets are going to increase. That's why we have to debit that particular assets. So here bank account will be debited by 500 rupees, and for the same we have to credit our interest account. Okay, interest on deposited we can write, or interest received we can write, anything you can write. You can write interest on deposits account, or you can write interest received account, because we are receiving interest, that is income, and always we have to credit our source of income. And last we have personal vehicle sold rupees 20,000 and invested into the business. What we have sold personally, that is not the issue, that is not the matter. The matter is here in this question, we have invested, we have used that amount in the business. It means we have introduced further capital, additional capital into the business organization. So we have introduced additional capital, so it will increase our cash in the business. That's why we have to debit our cash account, and definitely that is going to increase the capital amount, and whenever your capital will increase, we have to credit it, right? So that's why cash account debit to capital account, and your narration will be there, being additional capital introduced into the business. Okay, so here we have discussed almost of the transactions which are the part of your NCERT textbook or your reference textbook. So you can go through according to the transactions, according to the questions, and you can try to solve your numericals. If any kind of extra questions are there, that we will discuss later on in our live classes. Bye bye class.